Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. I'm Brett Chapin. That's Mia Vavasseur over there. Guys, if you have any questions for our very talented guest, Mia Vavasseur, or our other very talented guest coming up, Mr. Jimmy Mulligan, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. And also in the studio with us is Jan Glasband, Mia's grandma, who was actually our guest on our very third show here. So you've been with us from the beginning. Thanks so much for bringing me in and coming in and talking to us, Jan.
Oh, I'm happy to bring her in.
She's quite a star.
She is. Most kids are.
Yes.
In their own ways, of course.
But, you know, the thing that's funny about Mia is she's so outgoing, where a lot of kids aren't necessarily as outgoing. So I think she has a little bit of a leg up on other kids she might be auditioning against.
She's pretty socialized, you know. She feels very comfortable around adults. And most kids who are not, you know, sent out of the room whenever the adults come to visit are kids that, you know, are pretty well socialized and feel comfortable speaking with adults, and they don't, you know, run and hide behind their mother when there's an adult in the room. And she likes talking to adults.
Sure. Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
Let me bring her microphone a little closer there. And Mia, tell me, because you audition a lot, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part? Like when you go into an audition, what's your favorite part about being there?
Well, when I go, it's a little different because when I go into an audition, I feel like I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And when I go into a voiceover, I feel like this is gonna be so short. Oh, I'm just gonna stay here forever.
So you already... Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm done.
Oh, so you already kind of know the audition, the differences in an audition between a voiceover audition and a film audition or a theater audition, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. So is everybody pretty nice to you when you go into audition? Everyone's like real nice?
Yeah.
Good.
You like meeting the other kids too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You make friends at the auditions because you usually run into the same kids over and over again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really hard for her to leave. She wants to stay and, you know, visit with her audition buddies.
Lily.
Yeah.
I don't blame her. It's so funny because it's such a huge responsibility for a child to take on, to be an actor and to get into that. It's almost like they have to mature much faster than other kids.
Yeah, you know, and the more observant a kid is, the more they retain, because they retain everything, you know, and
Sure.
so you don't want to mess with that process too much. You know, you want to get them to be able to give back what they get in and feel comfortable doing that, you know, so you kind of lay the groundwork for them to feel comfortable to express themselves, and it usually pays off, you know, big time that way.
Absolutely. You know, I always tell this story. It's kind of funny, but one of my first auditions, I think I was 10 years old, and I went to the audition, and I remember one of the kids walking out of the audition room, and the mom looks at the kid, and she goes, "Well," you know, not hey,
Well.
how did it go?
Right.
Hey, let's get a hamburger.
Oh,
It was just, hey, well, you know, what happened?
Uh-huh.
And do you see a lot of that? Do you see a lot of stage parents at these auditions that you go to?
Yeah, it's really interesting. There are parents who they're very kickback about it, you know, and you can tell that they just let the kid do whatever they want to do, you know, and they don't interfere with their process at all.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are, you know, stage parents who, you know, they're giving them direction, they're telling them what to do, and I have to admit that I will do that once in a while, but not in that kind of an intense way where it's like, you've got to do it this way, and you've got to make sure they see you do this and do that, you know, and it's a lot of pressure, you know, but
Yeah.
the most important thing that Mia knows is to go in and just have fun. Just have a good time. Whatever you're doing, have fun, you know, because that's what you're supposed to be doing, just having a great time auditioning. And, you know, it's not life or death. It's just an audition.
Yeah.
And then you walk away and forget about it.
My last audition, there was like a bunch of people, and there was like this slant thing that they shoot on, and a bunch of kids were walking on it, and the slanted part, the slide part, I'm like, that's hollow, you know?
It's hollow. It was
You can fall through that.
You got to be
That's
careful.
true. You have to be really careful. You know,
Seriously.
it was a seamless, a built-in seamless that they do a lot of shooting on. It was like a green screen kind of seamless, but it was kind of scooped.
Gotcha.
So the kids were running up and down it, and being a little bit crazy. It was a kind of a
She's
crazy
got
audition.
grandma to keep her in line. So.
Oh yes, I've got the whip,
Yes, of course.
the soft whip, the feather whip.
Yes. made out of wet noodles.
It is. It's a wet noodle whip.
A wet noodle whip. What?
Yeah, I don't
It's
really.
it's like a soft, noodly, gushy
Exactly. That's the whip I
butt
use.
smacker.
Much better.
It's a butt smacker.
All right,
Thank you, Mia.
That's fair. It's so funny. Like, I almost feel like the kids, there's something that you lose as you grow up with theater or with any kind of creativity. And I don't think you can help it. You lose a certain kind of magic, a certain kind of spark to it. Whereas, like at the show I saw last night, these kids haven't lost it yet.
No.
It's still magical to them.
It's a very different experience in the theater. You're surrounded by your peers, who are feeling pretty free to do anything they want to do, because that's what we encourage. If it's a teaching situation, you have to kind of encourage the kids to be free and to not judge themselves and not to be, always self-conscious about their behavior. And there are all kinds of exercises that you can do with kids to keep them at that level, because they get into school and then the peer pressure starts happening, and then
Sure.
but it happens to girls a lot quicker than it does with boys. Girls, and it's happening younger and younger. I think we talked about this a little bit, but last time I was here. But with girls, it's starting to happen around 7 or 8 years old now, where they start to become self-conscious, and a lot of it has to do with the media and the pressure that the media puts on the kids to behave a certain way, and they lose that innocence at a far earlier age, which is unfortunate. So hopefully, I've got this school that we opened in Simi, the Performance Academy, and hopefully we can encourage kids to keep that innocent quality and to feel comfortable and safe while they're pretending, because that's what happens to us as we get older. The actors are always trying to find their way back to that pure instinct to just be able to pretend.
Absolutely.
In my fantasy princess class, we did a dress rehearsal today, and Ariel's dress was purple and green, and there was a tail, and the lines, Rapunzel's lines were, Ariel, pink is one of my favorite colors, but she's not wearing pink.
So
they change it to purple.
Right.
That's
Which is-
awesome.
Yeah, but kids can absorb that stuff, and they just
Oh, yeah.
they just go right along with it. They're a lot more adaptable than us old.
It's
folks.
easy to pretend.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Are you listening, Los Angeles Asians? Are you listening to this adorable little girl, Mia Vavasseur? Where can people find information about your performance academy?
At www.actorsrepofsimi.org. Short for Actors Repertory Theater of Simi.org. It's a great website. It's brand new, and it's just chock full with all kinds of information and things that we're doing locally and our outreach programs, and we're really proud of it.
I'm proud to hear about it. That sounds like it's going really great. We talked about it a little bit last time you were here.
We did, and we've taken it several steps ahead, so we're ready to go in a lot of different areas now.
Sounds good. Guys, Mia Vavasseur and Jan Glasband of the Actors Repertory Theater of Simi and the Actors Repertory Performance Academy. We'll be back with Jimmy Mulligan on La La Land with Brett and Mia on CRN Digital Talk.
Are you an inventor, or do you know